I'm going to start by installing the Create React App CLI globally on my computer. And I'll do that by typing npm install -g create react app. And with that installed, I can use it to create my application. So I'll type create react app, and I'm going to pass it the directory that I want my application to go in. Since I'm already in that application, I'll just use a dot. And after a couple of minutes, we have an application that we can start building on top of. You'll see that Create React App comes pre-installed with a few npm commands. The first one is start, which will start the development server. Then we have build, so that we can build this for production. We have test to start the test runner. That's all pre-configured within Create React App. And then we have an eject option that will basically break us out of the Create React App tooling setup and give us flexibility. But for now, we're going to leave it as is, and we're going to use everything that comes pre-bundled with Create React App. And we get these handy instructions to cd into our directory, which we happen to already be in, and then run npm start. So we'll run npm start, and that'll spin up our development server. And we'll see that our app is currently running at localhost 3000. You'll see that a browser window has been opened with that localhost 3000 location, and we have the boilerplate for our React app. I've also opened the code directory in Atom, so we can take a look at the code. You'll see that the page that opened up is telling us to get started, edit source/app.js, and save to reload. So let's do that. So in my editor, I'll expand out the source directory, find app.js and open it up. And you'll see that at the top of the file, we have a few imports to pull in our logo, our CSS, and of course, React and component from React. And then we have this React component called app defined with a render function that returns a bunch of JSX, and that's what we're seeing rendered on the page. Let's update the page by changing this paragraph to say, hello, React. And when I save this file, this is going to be automatically rebuilt, and the browser is going to refresh to reflect our changes. This automatic reload is going to make development time much faster because every time we make a change, we'll be able to see it in the browser and see if it's what we want. Not only that, it'll also point out our mistakes. So if I come up here and I break my JSX and save the file, we'll see that I have a very friendly and helpful error message right in the browser. So I can put that back and save it again, and I'm back to a working state. Let's take a look at a couple of the other files that come out of the box with Create React App. First off, we have index.js, which is actually the entry point for our application. So you see here it imports app, and it actually uses that in a call to react-dom.render to render this out to an element with the ID root on our HTML page. And that root element lives under the public directory in index.html. And I'll open that up, and you can see that root element right here. And you also notice some placeholder text and some notes in the comments. This file is a template, and the build process is going to use this to kind of replace some of these values and load the bundled scripts in for our production distribution when we run npm build. We don't have to worry too much about this file. And back in our source directory, you'll see that alongside app.js, we have app.css, which is styles that are specific to the app component, and we have app.test.js. So let's take a look at that. Create React App comes pre-bundled with the Jest test runner. And when you first create your app, you get this one simple test that just makes sure you can render your app component. So let's take a look at that. I'm going to jump into the terminal, and in a new tab, I'm going to run npm test. And we'll see that our one test passed, and this is actually going to sit here and watch for changes in our test file. So as we write more tests, this will rerun and let us know if they're passing or not. So with a single command in the terminal, we've set up an entire React application with all the tooling we need to reload the browser as we make changes, to run unit tests, and to build for production deployment.